Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Tyler with TJ Times 2 Cards, and today I want to go ahead. I want to dive into different types of shows that have been popping up. Today I went to a show called Collecticon. Collecticon is, I already knew going into it, mostly was going to be TCG. I did hear from Collecticon, like their website, everything like that. Like, it is going to be sports cards, it's going to be TCG, Pokemon, everything like that. So I went today, had my daughter's birthday weekend. We were out of town. We got back on Sunday. Today's Sunday, July 27th. We got back at 10:45 a.m. My wife was like, why don't you just go ahead, go up there for a couple hours? It's only about 40 minutes of a drive. So why don't you go ahead, go up there and go see what it's about and see if you can make some deals. My wife's fully supportive of me in this hobby. We've had a little bit of success. We're trying to keep the momentum going moving forward. So I went up there, and I had a lot of like hope walking in to the venue. Had to walk like half a mile, and it's hot. The heat advisory was out there today. Heat index at 115. It was hot. Had my Vision backpack case. You already know I take that at every show I go to. We got to the show. Walked in. The first thing I saw was an inflatable that had 3 big sports cards. We're talking about a Tom Brady. We're talking about a 90 or 86 Fleer Michael Jordan, and the 51 Mickey Mantles. So I had a little bit of hope going into it. Paid $10 to part. Paid another $40 to get in there. Went in there. There's probably, I would say, easily 300, maybe 400 tables. I found 4 booths that had sports cards. And when I mean 4 booths, I mean not dedicated to sports cards. There was only one person that had dedicated for sports card. He had 1 showcase, and he had 4, 2-row cardboard boxes. And that was it. And so the other ones, they had massive tables. The biggest one I saw was they had, I would say, probably at least 30 showcases. 5 of them were sports cards. I predominantly only do NFL. I've tried getting into baseball. I watch basketball. I tried getting into basketball too. I just don't understand the market as well as football. And not saying that we're not going to get there later down the road, but for right now, I'm very comfortable and just buying football. I don't buy Pokemon. I bought one today. I saw last comp was 103. I paid 75 for it. Thought it was a pretty good deal. It was a 2024 Ultra Rare Pikachu English edition PSA 10, like so many different variables with it. Ended up losing $5 on it. Sold it for 70 because supposedly it was a high sale, and they do value at it. It's about 85, and even though there's booths, you already know, you go to a show, there's booths that says we're buying at 90%, we're buying at 85%. You get up there and people are like, oh, well, we're trading at 90%. We're buying, I want to be more at like 80, 75, 70%. If you're a dealer, please go ahead and get a sign that says trading at 90%, buying 70 to 80%, because you make people waste time when they're sitting there waiting for you to get done, just for you to be like, hey, I told everyone, I was like, I'm not even valuing it at the 103. The last like 30 days, value is 85. Looking to get 75 for it. I was like, that's a little bit below 90% comps. I see that's what you're doing. They're like, no, one guy was like, I'll give you $50 for it. I'm like, so now we're just going, or we're going like 60% comps. So like, change your buying signs. Like, be very transparent, because you're just wasting people's time. And so I sold it for 70 just to get away from it, because I ended up getting a lot of good stuff. Like I said, there's not many sports card vendors. I lucked out. I got a huge deal. I got, like, when I say huge deal, I got like 8 cards max from a table and one sitting. I lucked out. I was at a table. There was a guy. He had 10 showcases. One was dedicated for sports. I tried. And the problem is when you go to these shows and there's not many sports cards, people are not as willing to work with you on pricing because they know people are there. If they're there for sports cards, they're going to get lucky finding that, and they just pay, a premium. They're not looking to go 95%. They're not like it's crazy. And so I was there and offered him pretty strong on about 6-7 cards. Every card that he had above $50, he did not want to move at all. For like, there was a Jackson Smith and the Jigba. It was a red ink, luminance. I saw yellow ink sales were like the last ones to sell, which the yellow ink and the red ink, he said red ink's more desirable. It's not numbered. It's just, I guess it's all speculation, and I would think with the Seahawks, the blue one is more, like sought after because it's kind of a color match. But he said red. It's just anything for them to try to value their cards a little bit more. But I saw yellow's last sales were like $40, $30. He had it stickered at 65. I took a valuation at like, when he said, okay, red's a little bit, it's harder to come by. I couldn't find any sales on the red. So I went ahead and told him that's fine. Like, we can value it at 50. I don't think it's a $65 card. Like, I'm not going to get anywhere close to it. And so we went ahead and he said, I'm going to just take it to the National with me. I know I can sell it. He's like, here's the sales for the red one. He pulls it up, and the last sales were 2023 for 65 and 50. I was like, can we value it at 50? Like, last sales are in 2023. They have the yellow inks that sold for like $30 and $40 not too long ago. I don't know. I don't think it's gone up in value. I would assume it just has gone down a little bit, but he wasn't even willing to value it at 50. So wasn't able to make a deal. But while I was sitting there doing that, a guy came up to me that was walking the show. He was like, you buying sports? I was like, trying to. I was like, it's hard to buy. And he goes, well, you want to look at my case? I was like, I'll definitely take a look at it. Shout out to Willie Dilly 1943 on Whatnot. I'll go ahead and I'll tag him right here. Walked up, beautiful case, and I got the most cards from him in the whole show. If he did not come up to me, the show would have been, I wouldn't say it would have been unsuccessful, because we did get 28 cards, and I think 15 came from him, so the other 13 came from vendors. It just wouldn't have been as successful. I mean, you're paying $50 just to park and to get in. It's tough. So he walked up. I was able to go through it. Worked so easily. I picked out 14 cards from him and offered him $480, and he's like, could you do $500? And he was like, I'll throw this Kyle Pitts in. It was an RPA. He's like, I'll throw it in, make it an even 5. That was very fair. Didn't even counter or anything like that. Just said, absolutely, sounds good. Shook hands, gave him the cash. That was that. But it's kind of the only thing I wish happened a little bit more, and kind of talk about it, is just like, if a show's going to promote that we're going to do sports cards too, or like, if there's a way to try to, I'm not asking for 50-50. I'm not asking for 60-40. Like, Collecticon is for, a lot of anime, TCG. I get that. But if you're going to promote it as a sports card show, please at least make sure it's like 80% TCG, 20% sports cards. Like, try to make sure that you have a little bit for everyone, because I'm going to be honest with you, it would have probably been better if I just waited till next week and had gone to a sports card show. Because it would have been, I did get a lot of stuff, but more variety for me to choose from. I wouldn't have to, and it would have been a little bit of a better deal. Not competing against, just because the rarity and the scarcity of things, people just don't want to help make deals, and it gets a little bit tougher to, make a few bones on something. So That's the only thing. Other than that, it was real cool. I mean, there's the guy that sings the Pokemon song from when we were all growing up. He was there. I see him in clips all the time singing his song. I'm glad that man is. He promotes himself as the voice of a generation. So I'm glad he's still doing good. But I just wish if it's promoted as a Collecticon and you have sports down there, like make sure there's more than, I would say, a total of, let's see, 5, 6, 7. I think there was a total of 8 showcases in the whole building. 8. And so that's tough when you have 8 showcases out of the, I would say, thousands. Like I would say probably 500 to 1,000 showcases. There's only 8 of them that are sports cards. So just kind of, I know I saw Pac card shop. He talked about it. Pac card collections. Let me make sure I get that right. He was talking about it. He went to Collecticon. He spent his money there. He found like one vendor that was set up, and it's, it's just, you have to walk around. There's a lot of people. It's hot. I get it. So it's tough to try to get in and look at the showcases when you have to, fight off a Jigglypuff and a Pikachu that's coming at you. So it gets a little tough. So that's the only thing. My experience with Collecticon, other than that, it was really cool seeing people just, be themselves and enjoying their hobby and everything. I just wish, if it's promoted as a sports card show too as well, there's just a little bit more options. So other than that, great time. Glad I went. Probably won't go again, but we'll see. It was a good once experience in my lifetime. So unless my kids are ready to go to a Collecticon and they're deep into, Pokemon and TCG world, I'll pass on it and save my $50 for another day. But until next time, it's Tyler with TJ Times 2 Cars signing out. Peace, guys.